Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another Mastering Maize and Blue podcast, the series for new students to familiarize themselves with campus and everything we have to offer. I am one of two hosts for today. My name is Roman Bruno. There we go. I'm still deciding at a major right now, but I hope to clear one very soon. I'm a first-year orientation leader as well as a sports writer for the Michigan Journal, and my favorite TV show is Impractical Jokers.
Hi everyone, I'm Megan Hadley, the other host for this meeting. My major is criminal justice. I'm also an orientation leader. I'm a part of the Criminal Justice Club and club tennis. Favorite movie, Harry Potter, but specifically the sixth movie.
Hey folks, I'm today's guest. My name is Aryka Rice, and I am from the Office of Student Life. I serve as a Student Life Coordinator for New Student Engagement, and I guess I'd have to say my favorite show is The Office. And I'm joined by one of my favorite students, Omari, who I'll let introduce himself now.
Hello, I'm Omari Johnson. I'm a sophomore majoring in pre-business. I'm involved with a lot of things on campus, and I'm a former cruise student.
And yes, cruise is the topic for today's podcast. A very significant and helpful resource for freshmen specifically. Aryka was already on a few weeks ago to talk about Model T for transfers, but today it's specifically for freshmen. And this is our first returning guest of this series, so we're happy to have you back. And a lot of these questions at the beginning are going to sound a little familiar, but obviously when we get down to it, we'll get into cruise a little bit later. So the first question, obviously, is how long have you been at UM-Dearborn?
So I have a 10-year relationship with the university. I was a student back in the day from 2010 to 2014. I was a Castle student. Shout out to Castle. But in my professional role, I've been with the university for almost 3 years. It'll be 3 years on August 7th. So I'm looking forward to celebrating that.
Oh, that's awesome. Our second question is, what is your favorite part of U of M Dearborn?
Oh man. Outside of the natural beauty that campus has to offer, from the green pastures and the trees and the animals, like you see a chipmunk every once in a while, I would have to say the people. I told Solomon this a couple weeks ago, but our campus is more of a family than like an institution. Most times when you're walking by someone, you'll smile and nod and wave, and it just feels like home. And that has been my experience when I was even a student to when I'm a professional staff. I'm always feeling invited and welcomed on campus. And it's a great opportunity through those feelings of being welcomed and comfortable on campus that you learn from different people and learn about different things from people. So I would have to say the community feel is my favorite part about the university.
Absolutely. I think that's something any freshman can get to know really quickly, that, everyone is there for one another. It's a very homely and welcoming campus, and you'll find your place really quickly, and you'll make friends really quickly as well. So how would you describe this family and the community on campus?
I would say pretty warm. There's always something going on, always something to do. So I would always find myself popping into student org meetings or different events, just saying, hey, I'm Aryka, I'm from this office. What do you all have going on here, and how can we partner, and how can I support you all? I would also say, not to be super cliche, but difference makers. We have such wonderful students on campus that are doing wonderful things, and as you will know throughout this podcast, Omari is absolutely one of my favorites. He, even in his first year, was awarded the Outstanding New Student Award at the Student Leadership Awards last year because of the great work that he's been doing on campus. So it's not just the seniors or the older students, it's students that are coming directly from high school that are finding their path and making a difference on campus. And so we have some of the best and brightest on campus, and it's just an absolute pleasure to walk alongside them, learn alongside them, and be there to support and listen to them. So I would just have to say it's just a warm and fuzzy feeling.
I would have to agree with that. U of M-Dearborn is a very close-knit community. It's a small campus, so it's easy to get to know everyone, and that's why it's so important to be involved on campus. Our next question is, what are some of your main responsibilities for your job?
So as the student life coordinator for new student engagement, I oversee all of our programs that are geared toward assisting incoming first year and transfer students with their transition to the university. So I oversee the cruise program, so that goes with recruiting facilitators and training facilitators, recruiting participants, writing curriculum, so the content that we discuss each and every week, working on that, as well as doing the same thing for Model T, which is a program for transfer students. And so making sure the content is relevant and it makes sense, and it allows them to make connections between past and present and future experiences. I also partner with the Talent Gateway to oversee the Duck Mentoring Program, which is a program that incoming students get paired with a mentor group, and they get to get that one-on-one as well as that small group support in navigating the university academically, personally, and professionally. And then I also have the extreme pleasure of overseeing the Engaged Scholar community, which is a learning community of over hundreds of students who receive various university-sponsored scholarships. And we just have different events and different educational experiences, just so that their college experience is as fruitful and robust as they'd like it to be. And so those are some of my main responsibilities. And then you also have the other duties as assigned. So committee work, a little bit of informal success coaching. So working one-on-one with students to help navigate current obstacles and issues that they might be facing. And then just also helping out with student orgs as an advisor.
Awesome. I know there's a lot to unpack there, but just to say at the top, you mentioned a bunch of stuff: the Duck, Model T, Talent Gateway, all topics that we have done or are going to do more podcasts on in the future, and we'll make sure to touch on that at the very end of where you can go to access those recordings. So another question about your job is, what is your favorite part, if you had to pick one?
Oh, definitely. I have a favorite part: working with the students. So seeing students come in to school their first day, maybe wide-eyed and a little confused, to becoming like campus leaders and doing really great work, or seeing that aha moment. So if I'm working with a student on a complex issue and we solve it together, that's really cool. Or if a student may not have a major, but they have a ton of things that they like to do, so working with them and their academic advisor to get them on their path is something that's really rewarding. But just being a part of students' lives, that's definitely my favorite part. It has definitely kept me going, especially in this remote uncertainty educational world that we are in right now. Being able to still connect with students, just to hear about what's going on with them and still not have those connections or those opportunities to connect missed.
Yeah, even as an orientation leader, I also kind of see that look from freshmen that you're like kind of lost, and it's our job to obviously help them, and I get a lot of joy from helping that and doing the job that needs to be done on campus.
Definitely.
And it's so great that as a student that we have so many resources to help us, and it's so important that we know about it and we use it for our advantage. But so the important part, the next question is, what is the Cruise to Success program, and who is it offered to? Sorry, I cannot talk.
It's all good. We're still waking up. This heat does something to you too. So the Cruise to Success program is a program designed to connect students to resources before they need it. Oftentimes, students are kind of lost in translation. You go to orientation, you learn a bunch of stuff, and then the first day of school comes up right after that, and it's just like so much is thrown at you. This is an opportunity for you to kind of be able to digest all those resources while making friends with other incoming Wolverines and making connections with faculty and staff right away to build that comfort, because faculty and staff, especially faculty, are your number one resource on campus. And so making sure we eliminate that barrier or that hesitation to reach out, as well as getting you involved as soon as possible, realizing that in-class engagement is important as well as out-of-class engagement. And so making sure students understand all of the possibilities that they have in college. And it's offered to first-year freshman students. It's a free program. It's virtual, obviously, this upcoming semester, and it'll be 8 weeks. And it's just a really great time. We're going to have a really great time. It's one of my favorite things. And it's just really cool to see students that participate in cruise go on to do really great things. And so I forgot to mention earlier, but cruise is like one of my most favorite roles and responsibilities, because it was the one I was most nervous about when I first started this role, but it's my baby now. So I was like, although we won't be in person, I won't get to hug everybody, but just know the love is still there. So that's the cruise program in a nutshell.
Yeah, when I first found out that there'd be a podcast for Mastering Raising Blue on cruise, I immediately reached out to Megan and asked her to do this with me, because we both did cruise as a freshman, and as Amari said, he did it as well. So we're hoping he can provide some great insight as well, and we're just really excited to talk about cruise today. So the next part is, does it interfere with the class schedule? Is it out of school, or can it interfere with a class schedule?
It does not interfere with class schedule. So there are a variety of section offerings that a person should be able to make it to. If not, we have some additional spots that we haven't opened up quite yet, but it's self-selective. So you take a look at what section offerings we have and see what makes the most sense with their schedule.
And there are some class times or schedule times that are even dedicated to certain groups, as like first gen or engineering students. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so we do have a few cohorted sections just to kind of continuously build community from like summer experiences. And so we do have a first gen section to get first generation students more acclimated with each other and get them connected. There's a pre-business section. There was in the past a section for WOW participants to kind of keep that party going, but with everything, we didn't have WOW this year, so no WOW section. We also have an engaged scholars community section, just to get them to know each other and get them acclimated. That's a section that I'm always facilitating, just so I can get to know the scholars and answer any questions regarding their scholarship. So there are cohorted models that have maybe some specific tweaks in the curriculum just to make sure they're getting all the information that they need.
And obviously freshmen, become good friends with whoever they are with in the class, but I think it's very important for freshmen to maybe take advantage of that opportunity to maybe find like-minded individuals. And especially since we're not on campus, I think it's really important to grow that group, right from the start.
Definitely.
Right, and I was a part of the Engaged Scholars one, so I was able to connect more with the people who had the same scholarship as me and had the same volunteer opportunities as me as well. And it was so great getting to know more people in that kind of community. And Omari, did you have anything you wanted to add to it? Because you were also in my group.
It was fun. We did a lot of bonding exercises, get to know each other's like personalities, and we built friendships to where we can help each other out on campus. And also we learned more about the campus, like interviewing campus staff or doing activities that you already did on campus to help reflect. We do like more reflections about how your first year is going through conversations and writing to help us grow into difference makers. That's what Aryka was saying.
Yeah, I think you mentioned one thing very important also, is that these relationships from cruise extend beyond the 8 weeks that you're doing it, or beyond the semester. Once you make these connections and relationships, they last. And I still talk to a lot of people that were in my cruise session.
Our next question is, what are the goals and objectives of the cruise program?
So simply put, it is just really to get freshmen equipped to be successful in their first semester and beyond by getting them proactively connected to resources, getting them involved in the university, no matter what that may be. So student organizations, research with the faculty, a job on campus, or just, not eating lunch in their car or someplace quiet, just being and exploring campus and celebrating their success, their academic, personal, and professional success. But first, defining what that might be, because they may have an idea of what it is, so we get them connected to the proper channels and avenues, but they might not have an idea of what they want their college experience to look like. And so it just gives them all of the options laid out and say, college is your oyster, go and make it what you want it to be. So it really just helps get students to understand what college is and what it can be. So it's essentially what you put in is what you get out. And so just really want students to understand that this is something you can do. We've got your back, and here are your friends alongside of you. So it really is just to help ease those nerves around being in college so that they can shake that off and just go ahead and hit the ground running.
Absolutely. I know one of the first things that we did in Cruise was establish goals, not only for the immediate or first semester, but also beyond, and as well as career, not just academic as well, and personal. There's many different types of goal setting, and that's very established right away in the Cruise program. And it's not just like the whole Cruise program is not just about the resources on campus. It also just goes beyond to adulthood and, simple skills that every adult needs to have, maybe like financial wellness or personal wellness and many more things like that. So you're not only going to learn about campus, which obviously is very important for the immediate, but you're also going to learn how to take care of yourself in the future.
Definitely, most definitely.
So I know you kind of touched on it earlier, but what are the definite plans for fall 2020?
So we are still rocking and rolling. We're all virtual via Zoom, and we're excited about this because this allows us to be even more creative in what we do. And so we'll have smaller groups. So last semester we had about 12 sections. This year we have 6 because we have a little more capacity, but we'll be on Zoom, which will allow us to do some different kind of small group and large group activities. It'll be 8 weeks, accounting for breaks and things like that, starting that second week of school. But we're really excited. The facilitation team, as well as the Office of Student Life, are super excited about onboarding our new students, and we revamped our curriculum a little bit to account for how to navigate college life and get involved in a virtual world, which could present some issues or some like, okay, how do I do this? But we haven't forgotten about you, and we have the toolkit ready to share. And so registration is now open for Cruise Fall 2020. And so I'm really excited to see what this virtual experience will bring.
And it also keeps Cruise students together because, you haven't mentioned this, but students who have finished the program can later on become facilitators, and that registration is open as well.
Yep. And so we oftentimes encourage students that successfully complete the Cruise program to come back and serve as facilitators so they can share what went well, what didn't go well their first semester and their first year with students, to give them like real life tips and tricks, because we find that having the students that have gone through this in the room makes the connections a little deeper. They can actually answer the questions. Like, I haven't been a student in years, so it might say, I might give them this advice. It might be a little skeptical, but if I have Omari in the experience, and they're like, okay, he did this a semester or 2 ago, so I think I can do it too. So we definitely keep the Cruise family together, welcome them back as facilitators the next year, even like program coordinators or helping look at curriculum and things, or serving as Duck mentors in the Duck program, because a lot of Cruise students are a part of that as well. So keeping the family together is what we aim to do.
It's really great that, it's really great that you can, when you join this kind of program, you can get a job from it or join a different kind of program. It's just awesome being able to be involved.
Yeah, Cruise is really just the beginning. It's not designed to be like the beginning and end. It's like the launching point. It's where you kind of get your wings, and it's like at the end, it's like, okay, go and do all the things that you learned about. Go and be involved. Go and show up as that leader. Go and go and be that adult that you learn how to be, or become that adult that we're learning how to be. So I really enjoy watching people kind of take off from the cruise program. It's kind of sad to see folks go at the success celebration, but I still get to see them just by being involved on campus with other things too.
Absolutely. There's so many connections that can be made out of the cruise program, and who
Mhm.
knows what opportunities are available, and you have to, it's all in the power of your own hands.
Definitely, definitely.
Where can I register for cruise is our next question.
Yeah, definitely. So for incoming students, there will be, or there should be, an email going out soon about cruise and duck, as well as other opportunities for involvement. They'll have a link to the application, but when in doubt, I encourage you to check out the Office of Student Life's website, and then you'll go to New Student Engagement, and you'll see the big button that says register for Cruise to Success for fall 2020. And it's a quick application or submission registration, no more than 5 minutes, just some general information about yourself. And then you'll get an email from me saying, hey, and welcome. This is your section, and this is when we'll be getting started.
And for the freshmen who are, probably on the fence, they, might not be convinced, but let's say off the top that, it's just in the fall of their freshman year, right? So so once the opportunity passes, it's gone.
Essentially, yes.
I would definitely take advantage of the opportunity while it's there.
Yeah, it's a really great time. It's not lecture-based at all, or it's not designed to be lecture-based. It's really supposed to be a time where you come and sit with like-minded folks and talk about your university experience and how you can further enhance it.
Right, it's a very open-minded and welcoming experience, and it was just great for me to have someone to talk to, being a freshman and everything, and being new to the campus. It's just great to have. And I remember you meet once a week, and then when we were done, I missed going the next semester. I missed having that place to go. So I'm glad I did it.
Definitely. And I'm glad that you all did as well, because it was just a pleasure seeing everybody week after week after week and things like that. And so, and it's just where I'll say it over and over again. It's just really cool to see students that start in cruise that may be shy or maybe even outgoing go on to do really great things. So it's really great to see that you and Roman are orientation leaders, and Omari's a president of a student organization, as well as he is actively involved in the engaged scholar community. And so just really getting to stay connected to you all, but as you all grow as leaders, is something that's really rewarding.
Yeah, I actually want to go to Amari for a second.
Yeah.
How is your life or campus life after cruise? I know it's probably a little bit difficult, or not difficult, just a little different not having that meeting once a week. But I'm sure you had a smile to your cruise friends and the facilitators whenever you saw them on campus.
I have a lot on my plate right now, but I'm still keeping in touch with friends, encouraging them to get involved, and basically expanding their comfort zone. Like, I run my own student organization. It's called Stories in Sports. You really don't have to be in sports, but we debate different sports topics, and it's a learning experience for, just in case you marry somebody and they into sports, at least know what the heck is going on. And engaged scholars, that's a handful right now, but we're trying to make sure these freshmen get involved and be involved virtually, but when they come back on campus, they will easily make the adjustment and meet their friends in person. And it's going all right. It's just a lot of work for me right now.
Yeah, I totally get that. And even as, graduates, I guess you could say, of the cruise program and of other resources, and we've been there, we've done that. We now want the new class to, be a part of that. And, any way we can spread the word or convince or, like I said, spread the word, we'll definitely do that.
It's definitely different, but there are still ways you can be involved even if it is virtual, and it is so great that you can still be involved in some way. So I suggest everyone should try and take advantage of it if they can.
And I think with the fall being virtual, you're going to want that head start, not only academically, but when you want to get in the know with everything going on in campus. So I think being a part of Cruise or even Model T or Duck, you definitely get that head start on campus. And I don't know how my freshman year would have gone if I didn't take it, but I don't know if I would have had the same success. So we're kind of wrapping up towards the end, and the biggest question probably of all for the incoming students are, what advice would you give to a new UM-Dearborn student?
You want to take it first, Omari?
Don't be afraid. Meet new people. Enjoy yourself. They don't bite. They're lost as you are. Start making the friendships right now, and later on, y'all might do something together, like create an organization or be friends for life when you graduate. Just talk to them. Start building your relationships. It might be hard, but at least try. And you'll learn a lot at Cruise. Like all three of us did. We learned a lot.
Yeah, if you would have told me when I was graduating my senior year of high school that I would be, going on WOW, being a part of Cruise, and now being an orientation leader, I would have told you you're crazy. But I'm glad I have the friends to kind of motivate me and put me out there, and I certainly don't regret it.
Awesome. I would have to say, ask questions. Ask as many questions as you have the breath to do, because just soak all that information in. There's always someone there willing to answer those questions. If not, find me. I will answer those questions for you, but don't ever hesitate to ask those questions. That would be my big piece of advice.
Right, I completely agree with that. Even making one friend in each class is important, because you have that one person you can ask questions to. It's just important to try, like Amari said. As long as you try, that's all that matters.
Absolutely.
Our last question is fun facts. So Aryka, do you want to start?
Oh, snap. Fun facts. I have 2 cats that I absolutely love. There's Mr. and there's Calliope. And another fun fact, I am terrified of butterflies, but they're beautiful.
One fact about me is, it's embarrassing, but I got the nickname from Steve Harvey. Got the nickname Steve Harvey from listening to relationship drama every 5 minutes. Another fact is, I'm a huge Lakers fan. And one more is, I like fashion. I look good in everything.
I like how Omari is sharing his whole life with us. But the funnest fact about Omari is that he and the Dean of Students, Dr. Amy Finley, are absolute best friends, and they met through the Cruise program doing one of the out of session assignments. So that's also a fun fact.
That's awesome.
Yeah, talk about connections we have with you mean with the dean.
Yeah.
Megan, do you want to go, or do you want me to?
I can go. I have a dog. My favorite color is purple.
Ooh.
I play tennis. I played clarinet. I played clarinet in high school. Not anymore. But yeah.
And lastly, I have a couple. I also have a cat. Her name is Bella, and I said earlier I was a sports writer for the Michigan Journal. I'm a huge diehard Lions fan, me and Amari have worked on a couple of projects for Stories in Sports, so that's kind of how we got to know each other. But I'm glad that we also have that cruise connection now.
Lastly, thank you so much, Aryka and Amari, for joining us today. It was great talking about the cruise program.
And we
You're
have that
welcome.
contact information as well up on screen, Aryka's email and the Office of Student Life.
Yeah, thanks for allowing me to join this podcast to talk more about cruise and to hear more about y'all's experiences too. I'm really glad that you were able to participate and had a really good outcome. But I'm looking forward to welcoming the new Wolverines and looking forward to them having a blast and cruise like we always do.
Of course.
Don't be afraid.
That's true. And lastly, if you want to keep up with our Mastering Maize and Blue recordings, you can visit umdearborn.edu/Mastering Maize and Blue. For the previous and future episodes, we obviously have had many recordings in the last couple of months, but we also plan on having a lot more in the upcoming month, and we also have our past Instagram lives on there as well. So as we kind of mentioned, this cruise recording will go up in a couple of days. The Model T is already up there, and we'll do Duck and Talent Gateway, as Aryka mentioned in a little bit. But there's plenty more on there, so definitely check it out. And hopefully this helps you in any way possible. That's kind of the goal here, and we're glad to put it out there for you guys.